Welcome in. We are here talking about something that we have not talked about yet. It's AI, it's technology, it's stuff that we can get so stuck in. I was just talking to somebody the other day and they were saying, I am tech, what do they call it? Like whatever, that they're having fear around tech. I just heard that last night. And it was someone who was spiritual. Her name is Yvonne. She is just jamming and all the other stuff. And then you hear that and you're like, well, then just that's what's stopping my me. And I really feel as a person that learned before I started this business, all this technology stuff, that I was so lucky I was handheld, through years of doing accounting and CPA work, is that that was the way that I could get information. And then when AI started coming in, I noticed I had some fear around that. And then all of a sudden I started playing with it and I was like, hold on here. If you give something really good information, it'll bring you back good information, but it doesn't take over everything. But we really need to have that conversation so you can really feel it. So I have an expert here, Gigi Smith. So we're going to connect with her. My vision of this Mindset Matters to Heart series is, when we feel that we're out of sorts, our head takes over, and then that fight or flight, like everything you see, you just can't get out of the pain or the cycle, because 90% of our brain, if you're not updating that software, is just going to be regurgitated over and over and over, stuff that just keeps bashing and bashing you. So we're learning about these strategies. So I want Gigi to go in on the latter part of our conversation, talking about a tool that she's going to use for you, and you're going to be able to do it live with us. And I noticed right away when I start using this tool that she's going to share, I'll let her tell you what it is, that all of a sudden I start feeling the release in my body. So if you're here at the beginning, stay to the end. If you get a little bit at the beginning, make sure that you are staying for the whole thing. This is going to be an awesome build up. I'm going to say, actually, I should say hello to Dr. Gigi Smith. Hello, my friend. Thank you for being here.
Hello, thanks so much for having me, Rhonda.
I'm really, really happy to be here with you, Gigi. We're also going to be talking about, I bet, probably some stuff that I did with you yesterday. Oh, just so incredible. I just feel so awesome, and I've had a really powerful day. So we're going to get into that at some point. We're going to throw that in there. I'll be a testimonial for Gigi, which Gigi probably has tons of testimonials because she kicks butt. When I first started podcasting 7 years ago, Gigi was a person that we got to interview at that time. So she's been in my life like forever when it comes to entrepreneur life.
Oh, yes, yes.
Remember that with my first podcast buddy, and she's from Sweden, and we were in high end master coach stuff, and so we got to have so many cool people on the podcast. It was pretty powerful.
Oh, I
Okay, so
love
let's
that.
tell you a bit about Gigi. As an award winning, innovative, and experienced technology executive and educator for 30 plus years, with a gift in creating magic. Ding! I love that. I deliver powerful, immersive learning experiences. I'm all thinking relationships. Immersive relationships. Juicy. Okay, so she's talking about experiences, though, that transform the way people create and thrive. Those are great words, create and thrive. Gigi, let's get in there. We are talking about mindset matters to heart. Can you give me just a sense of why you believe you're here? Like maybe a story to connect this with technology, any kind of thing you want to share about any mindset stuff around that. I'd love to kick it off that way.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rhonda. I believe mindset matters about everything. The attitude you have going into something, the energy you have going into whatever endeavor, project, relationship, you start attracting likeness. We are energetic beings. And I realized this, the older that I got, that we're all vibrating these really fast particles. It looks like we're solid, but we're not. We're these billions, trillions of atoms, working, rubbing together very fast. And so if we have a mindset of positivity, going into a project, we're going to get, something positive out. But if there's something that's keeping you from getting from where you want to be, I call that resistance or blockage. As an example, if you have this desire to be earning $120,000 a year, but you're only earning $50,000 a year, well, that delta, that difference is resistance. There's something keeping you from getting to that place. Or and I believe, this is my belief system, health. If you're having some health challenges in any particular way, then your resistance is where you are versus where you want to be. And so I believe you have to check yourself. You have to check your mindset. And, our minds operate just like computers, Rhonda. We start with that operating system.
Yeah. Yeah.
And most of us, if I were to equate it with an IBM, we started off with a Windows 3.1 operating system.
Oh, that's long ago, Gigi.
I know. But think about this. A lot of us have not even updated the software since it was first installed.
Oh,
And
that's scary when you think
is.
about that from what your perspective is when you're here and watching people be stuck in that spot there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And really our operating system as humans, that thing got forged from 0 to 7. And think about where we were 0 to 7. We were kids. We're taking in the thoughts, feelings, behaviors, beliefs from our caregivers, from society, everything. And we are sponges. We're just taking it all in as though it's gospel.
Yeah.
But now I know a lot of that stuff wasn't gospel. It was just how they believed. There was a lot of victim thinking. There was a lot of scarcity thinking. And I came from folks that were employees. And so the idea to be an entrepreneur, why? You can get a good government job. Get a good government job, make $50,000 a year. You're good. Gucci.
Great benefits,
Yeah. And as the young kids say, oh, you're Gucci. You're good.
You're
but
good.
but if we're not actually going into our operating systems and upgrading it, updating it, just like we do our computers, just like we do our phones, then you get what you get. You get all this resistance and blockage. And again, it's the difference between where you are versus where you want to be. And so in my belief, you have to upgrade your software.
Yeah.
And one
I
of the
hear
best
this,
ways
Gigi.
to do it.
I hear this. And sometimes we don't even understand there's that resistance there. Like it's just playing because that is just what you've always known. So if you're not in that transformation of knowing like what transformation feels like, or if you've endeavored into it a little bit, there's so many things going on. How does this affect our technology? Like, because technology can be very new and you're like, oh, I don't know anything. I have a client that specifically says it will not let me do this, and I go, oh, take a step back. It's just a learning curve. And so in her life she's been telling that technology is wrong. So can we
Yeah.
talk about that, because this is cool stuff that I bet our community will really appreciate.
I love that. As a matter of fact, so I have two brands. I have a healing brand, Tapping with Dr. Gigi, and I have Serendipity Innovation. We create websites, apps, digital marketing for healers, creatives, and coaches. And so my team and I, we were sponsoring a free class for healers and creatives about how to use AI to make your work faster, better, and easier.
Yeah.
Now, I tell you, people showed up. It was great, but there was so much fear about it, Rhonda. It was like, oh, I don't want these robots to take my jobs. Or, people with a religious background, yeah, this was talked about in the Bible, and,
Yeah.
we're going to go straight to Hades. We don't want to do all that. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of distrust off of that. And so as I was talking, I was realizing, people aren't really going to embrace it until they get over the fear. So I created an EFT power shot. That's a 60-second, quick hit them with on overcoming the fear of AI. And then I created a longer 5 to 8 minute deeper dive for people that really want to dive deep and excavate those fears out of their operating system and upload some software where they can use AI with confidence, without that fear. I also created one on technology frustrations. I've been involved in technology since the 80s, and I still get frustrated with technology from time to time. So
Yeah.
I totally resonate with what your client was saying. Oh, the software won't let me do this and that. But I
Yeah.
know it's not the software.
Yeah. There's will and a way to get some of these things done, but it's what questions do you ask? How do you even know to ask the question if you have no base around technology? Like I think of that your vocals are muted because you want to say something, you're supposed to say something, what results that you think that you want, but you have to get through that fear to be able to really listen, to be able to even say, well, what kind of question should I ask? Like, I could just see freeze mode here now. Just like, oh my gosh, Gigi, you just talked about this spiritual stuff, which I love. And then you're talking to these spiritual beings. They're at a class and they're learning how to do technology. Like that just almost seems like a dichotomy. Like, how does that work? So that's a big learning curve. Can you talk about how, I think this will really serve the community, how you were able to start opening up space for them, help them connect so that they could actually see what was in front of them, the questions they needed to ask, or the first step, and that they did it without, clicking. I see people clicking real fast or doing things. What were some of the strategies to help them get through that, just to see what was in front of them?
Excellent question. So one of the first things I did, especially coming from my background of using emotional freedom techniques and hypnosis, I've blended the two. As I said, hey, would you all like me to do a tapping, to help relieve this fear and allow you to calm down? Take a deep breath and really calm down and see AI for what it is, as opposed to through these filters, of fear. And the filters of fear, really don't allow you to look at the technology. It's like my hands, in front of my eyes, functioning as this filter. So we did a quick, like 2-3 minute tapping, and I gauged the crowd to say, okay, what's your fear level? Most of it was like 10, 9, 8, very intense levels. So
Yeah.
after just one round of a 2 to 3 minute tapping, it brought the anxiety level down.
Wow.
It's crazy. And once you bring people's anxiety level down and they're in a state of peace and calm, then you can teach. But you can't teach when people are in fight or flight.
And I
They're
think,
just not in a place to hear.
Gigi, I think that's like across the board too. It's like a learning lesson for everybody to think about. Like even when you're in conversation, this is about like that we're going to be doing a tapping, is what I'm hearing, for how to manage the fear around some of the things you may be saying to yourself, or you're just shut down from it all the way and think there's nothing good about this. But it's going to tether with everything in life, not just technologies. Like anything that there's a big fear of, or even a little fear that could be something of a tool. They could keep coming here to this conversation, or they can connect with you after too.
Yes, I'd love
They
that.
can do that too. Hey, so are we ready to introduce basically what tapping is? Because most people do know what tapping is, what it is, what our end goal is, and then can we play with this?
I'd love to. I'd
Okay.
love to. Would you like me to talk about what EFT is just briefly?
Yeah, yeah, because not everybody, some people probably have seen people tapping, but yeah, let's give an intro that's like basics of what it is and what you're going to be doing.
I love that. Thank you. So EFT, also called emotional freedom techniques, has been around since the 70s. Gary Craig was the originator. And the idea is it's about moving energy. And so we tap on the various meridians of the body,
Yeah.
gently. This is a very loving, compassionate process. So you tap lightly on, one of the meridians. And as you're tapping, you're making these statements. You're essentially going from state A to state B. You're talking about, oh, I'm feeling a lot of anxiety right now. I'm feeling some fear.
Yeah.
And then you start moving to, I don't want to feel this fear anymore. I want to feel calm. I want to feel at ease. I don't want to allow, in this case, AI to take over my brain. I want to be able to harness this technology as I see so many other people do, with ease and without the frustration. And so I like to say EFT can reprogram your brain, because it can.
Yeah.
It starts to, we do these sessions, and then before you know it, you're thinking differently, and more importantly, Rhonda, you're behaving differently. And so
Ooh.
that's the beauty of EFT, and it can happen like that. You can do it yourself. Sometimes it's better to do it with a practitioner, so you're making sure you're going completely from state A to state B, and transitioning and transforming your emotions from emotions that really aren't serving you so well to
Mhm.
emotions that are like elevating you and empowering you to do things that are important. A lot of entrepreneurial women, have issues with sales and marketing. And
Yeah.
so that's because there's a block, there's resistance. I had it. And
Yeah.
so I had to really address that block. And I
Yeah.
did it with EFT.
Yeah. Yeah. And I had a session with you, and we did a combination of stuff. And I today, total free flowing, have some little hiccups here and there because the brain's like, hello, you're used to acting this way, and it cleared it right away. So it's a
Yeah.
very powerful process. But you did actually a three-stepper kind of with me, which is like even more powerful than already this powerful EFT, because we hear so many people talk about what you're doing, because like we meaning like the collective,
Yeah.
and like so much like sometimes a release of tears, just a relief of what you're dealing with. Or and I could see with having this technology conversation, people not being able to move forward in their business, or being afraid that AI is going to be taken over. Let's just say we have somebody watching that maybe not in business, and there's a big fear around that. We got
Yeah.
some good stuff here. So I think we're ready.
Oh, I'd love to. Okay, let me just open this up. And I'll tell you, I love AI. I've been a proponent of technology since the 80s. So, I embrace, the newness of these things. I use AI as my assistant. And that means I don't have to pay somebody. It remembers what I want. It's a beautiful experience. And so what I have for you today is part of my Elevate and Empower series. It's a series of 5 to 8 minute tappings on a particular issue. This one is called AI Unlocked: Overcoming Fear and Embracing Possibilities. So, welcome. Find a comfortable and quiet space where you can relax, and take a moment to connect with any feelings related to the fear of AI, including concerns you might have about job replacement, or the uncertainty or unknown about its impact on society, or just simply worries about not understanding AI. Just kind of take a mental note and notice any resistance or blockages within you that show up in your body, maybe something in your stomach or something in your throat. Just notice that. And together, we are going to tap through these feelings, releasing what no longer serves you and embracing a confident relationship with AI. How does that sound?
Woo!
So again, ensuring you're in a quiet, a safe, and a comfortable place, and taking full responsibility for your own well-being. First, let's rate your intensity level with AI right now. So on a scale of 1 to 10, so 1 would be I am peaceful, I am calm, I'm a Zen master. 10 is heart racing, high anxiety, high stress. Where do you sit on that scale right now? Don't think about it too hard, just that first gut response. We're going to go with that. Has everybody got their number? Do you have your number, Rhonda?
Yeah, it might be 4 or 5.
Okay. We can work with that. And then at the conclusion of this tapping sequence, I'm going to ask you that same question again and see how your numbers change.
Nice.
Okay. So just do what I do and say what I say. We're going to start with the karate chop point, and we're tapping very gently. I may tap on the left or the right side. Just tap on either side, whatever's comfortable for you. And just repeat after me. Even though I have fears about AI replacing jobs, I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
I deeply and completely accept myself.
Excellent. Eyebrow. This anxiety around AI and its impact on society.
This impact and around society.
Side right? The fear of losing control over my future.
The fear of losing control over my future.
Under eye. The uncertainty of not understanding how AI works.
The uncertainty of not knowing how AI works.
Under nose. Releasing the belief that I will be obsolete.
Releasing the belief that I will be obsolete.
Under mouth. Letting go of the anxiety around ethical implications.
Letting go of anxiety with the application, AI application.
Collarbone. I choose to embrace the potential of AI as a tool.
I choose to
Embrace.
The imprint of AI in society.
3 inches below the armpit. Finding peace in the face of change.
Finding peace in the change.
Top of head. I am capable of adapting to new technologies.
I am capable of adapting to new technologies.
Excellent. Now we're going to take a deep conscious breath. In through the nose, visualizing a white, peaceful light, and then exhaling through the mouth with an audible sigh, everything that is not peace and love. Excellent. Karate chop point. Even though I feel overwhelmed by AI advancements.
Even though I feel overwhelmed by AI advancement.
I acknowledge these feelings.
I acknowledge these feelings. Eyebrow
point. This burden of uncertainty about the future.
This burden about uncertainty about the future.
Side of eye. This discomfort that comes with rapid technological change.
This uncomfort with rapid technology change.
Under eye. I recognize the fear of being left behind.
I recognize the fear of being left behind.
Under nose. This inner voice tells me I'm not equipped for the future.
This inner voice is telling me I am not equipped for the future.
Under mouth. I may not understand where these fears come from.
I may not understand where these fears come from.
Collarbone. I'm letting go of the need to control how AI evolves.
I'm ready to let go of the control of AI fears.
3 inches below the armpit. I choose to release this fear step by step.
I choose to release this fear step by step.
Top of head. I am learning to adapt to new realities.
I am learning to adapt to new realities.
Let's take a deep conscious breath. Inhaling through the nose, visualizing a white, peaceful light. And then releasing with an exhale through their mouth with an audible sigh, everything that is not peace and love. Ah, excellent. Karate chop point. Even though I've struggled with fear around AI,
Even though I struggled with the fear around AI,
I now choose to embrace knowledge.
I now choose to embrace knowledge.
Eyebrow point. I feel empowered to learn about AI.
I feel empowered to learn about AI.
Side of eye. I acknowledge the benefits that AI can bring.
I acknowledge the benefits that AI can bring.
Under eye. I have the power to understand and use AI.
I have the power and understanding to use AI.
Under nose. I welcome the opportunity to grow with technology.
I welcome the opportunity to grow with technology.
Under mouth. I am enough.
I am enough,
Just as I am,
just as I am,
to navigate this change.
to navigate this change.
Collarbone. I release the fear of judgment from others.
I release the fear of judgment from others.
3 inches below the armpit. I am empowered to explore AI with curiosity.
I am empowered to explore AI with curiosity.
Top of head. I celebrate my willingness to adapt and learn.
I embrace the energy,
I celebrate my willingness
I celebrate my willingness
to adapt and learn.
to adapt and learn.
We're going to take another deep conscious breath, inhaling through the nose, visualizing a white, peaceful light, and then exhaling with an audible sigh through your mouth, everything that is not peace, love, and light.
Oh.
Excellent. Last round. Even though I have fears about AI,
Even though I have fears around AI,
I allow myself to visualize a positive future.
I allow myself to visualize a positive future.
Eyebrow. Seeing myself confidently using AI.
See myself confidently using AI.
Side of eye. Feeling the excitement of new possibilities.
Feeling the excitement of new possibilities.
Under eye. Imagining the joy of being in control of my choices.
Imagine the possibilities of being in control of my possibilities.
Under nose. I picture myself thriving in an AI-driven world.
I picture myself thriving in an AI world.
Under mouth. I embrace the positive outcomes of understanding AI.
I embrace the positive outcomes in embracing AI.
Collarbone. I visualize my life filled with opportunity and growth.
I visualize my life in opportunity with AI.
3 inches below the armpit. I see the possibilities unfolding as I embrace AI.
I see the possibilities unfolding as I embrace AI.
Top of head. I choose to believe in my ability to adapt and thrive.
I choose my ability to adapt and thrive with AI.
Excellent. Now we're going to do the butterfly taps. I release any resistance or blockages to embracing AI.
I release any blockages with my resistance to using AI.
I open myself to opportunities
I open myself to opportunities
it presents.
it presents.
I am worthy of navigating the AI landscape.
I am worthy of navigating the AI landscape.
I embrace the possibility that AI offers.
I embrace the possibility of what AI offers.
We're going to release the tapping. Take one last deep conscious breath, inhaling through the nose, visualizing a white, peaceful light, and then exhaling with an audible sigh through your mouth. Everything that is not peace, love, and light. Ah. Okay, so that was an elevate and an empower session. And so as we conclude that session, just take a moment to see how you feel. Allow yourself to embrace the energy of overcoming your fear of AI. On that same scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is, I'm feeling peaceful and zen. 10 was, high anxiety, high stress. Where are you now? Hopefully your number has lowered.
I noticed that around the second to last time or third to last time, all of a sudden I just felt this release, and there was something positive that started flowing through my body that I could accept. Like, I'm so excited that I get to use AI, like at a
Excellent.
different level than I was.
Excellent. So what number did you end at?
Um, Playfully 2, could be 2,
Okay.
3, but it's definitely like, I mean, like, I feel like I just feel more freedom. And because when I first started off and watching AI come, I was definitely somewhat of fear, didn't know what it was. And now I feel, even using it now, I feel like the possibility of getting even more creative with it. I like it.
I love that. So that was just that was one round of the Elevate and Empower series. It's a deeper dive. So your podcast has introduced, because this is hot off the trails, hot off the press right now.
Woohoo!
Nobody has experienced the Elevate and Empower series. But the Tech Empowerment series includes AI fear. It also includes one on tech frustration. And then the last is fear of change. You know, a lot of people, including myself, we have, we're creatures of comfort. We don't really like to change. And so that tapping helps us to be more open to change.
I love that, Gigi. Thank you so much for getting hot off the presses, tapping, dealing with AI. That really serves the mindset series to heart, because I could feel myself dropping into out of the chaos and more into like the love of it, the curiosity, the
Yeah.
excitement of how that can take another notch. I love how you said you use it as like your assistant, because you can, because of the stuff that you can do. So we have information of how to connect with you. I already put it in the flow of what we were doing here on YouTube. So all of it is right there and available. Make sure you connect with Gigi. Gigi,
Yes.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
love the experience with you with all that technology. And sometimes we think it's just so masculine, which maybe that's where you started. Because I know I did. I was very masculine about things. But as you've gone along, that you've tapped deeper into like that way to actually blend those two, the masculine and the feminine, because technology is more cerebral, but creativity, which then leads you right into that Zen space of the tapping. So I really appreciate your time, and that we have something hot off the presses. Boy, I really appreciate that.
Yes.
Thank you,
Again,
my
for
friend.
your audience and you.
Yes. Fresh Talks Global Vision. Use that tapping. Keep coming back here. You got information for Gigi Smith. Make sure you're connecting with her. This is about up leveling. Our mind stops us from so many things. You got a tapping exercise, and that is all in those reflex points. It's just like releasing of stuff. So go and play. I'd love to hear comments from you. Appreciate you. Mwah. Have an insightful day. Thank you, Gigi, for being with us, and
Thank
appreciate your stories and your journey.
Thank you. It was a pleasure to serve and support.
Awesome. Thank you, my friend. See everyone real